Hey, I'm your boy, SOULman. Thought I would sit here and do a little a Q&A with you guys. That's Brooklyn Mass Choir in the background. You know, I was looking at some older videos of, I guess you might say some clips I've done about maybe 8-10 years ago. What's interesting about those clips as I was watching them, and I thought to myself, I said, wow, I'm preaching the same message I've been preaching for the last 27 years. These are the last days and Jesus is coming back soon. You know, I know there are many people with different, give me a minute, let me just turn the music down a little bit. I love the song, but sometimes when I listen to my music, it captures me and it takes me to another place. And so right now I'm just trying to be focused. You know, a lot going on in the world right now, unfortunately. Let me see if I can adjust the camera a little bit. Is that a little better? You guys have to forgive my lighting. It's really, well, my equipment's in Texas, so what can I say? Let me get some of that backdrop off. But, as I was saying, you know, we're living in the last days. Jesus is coming back soon. I've been saying that for 27 years. And I know to the average person, I mean, they might ask the question, well, what proof do you have? Well, the Bible is my proof. I've been reading it since I was a kid. But I guess the most amazing thing is that when God called me to preach the gospel, He began to show me things. And one of the things He showed me was the fact that where it says in the Bible, last generation, He began to reveal to me that we are the last generation. And one of the ways He convinced me, or showed me, I should say, it didn't take much convincing, it was too obvious to me. When I start studying the different prophecies that it talks about in the Bible, like, you know, in the last days there would be an explosion of knowledge, and then I found out that that was talking about the internet. I was like, wow, it got my attention. Then there's another prophecy where it talks about, you know, the seasons, how you won't be able to tell the seasons, you know. In the wintertime, it might be warmer than normal. It might be warm. And in the summertime, it might be cold. And so I began to see the different seasons over the years, how you couldn't tell the seasons because it was strange things going on with the weather. I remember it was not that long ago, and right now we're in 2022, but it wasn't, I think it was either last year or the year before. You can go on YouTube and you can see clips of it snowing in the Sahara Desert. I mean, how unusual is that? But I think the most profound prophecy where it says, when the gospel is preached throughout the land, then the end shall come. So I had the pleasure and the privilege in 1994 to witness the fulfillment of that gospel, the beginning of it anyway, because Billy Graham had preached to 66 countries simultaneously. You can pull that up on YouTube also. It should have been May of 1995, because I was called in November of 1994, and I ran across the video not too long ago. And it was dated May of 1995. So, I mean, just months after me being called to ministry, God allowed me to see this video and this footage, and it was confirming the fact that when the gospel is preached throughout the land, then the end shall come. And so, the gospel is reaching places it's never reached before. And you know what's the amazing thing to me is? It really does not matter if anyone believes the gospel. It doesn't matter if anyone believes the word of God. If anyone believes anything that is written in the Bible, it really does not change what's going to happen. The events that God has prophesied, that has forecast, that all his servants has been writing about and talking about for thousands of years, the events will still occur, whether anybody believe it, whether anybody preach it, whether anybody receive it. The things that God said would happen in this last generation days are going to happen. They are happening even as I speak. Russia is on the brink of going to war with the Ukraine, which in itself will begin the beginning of World War III. All been prophesied. If you read the book of Revelation, the things that will happen from the book of Revelation is mind-blowing in itself. And in the 27 years that I've been preaching, you know what's amazing to me? The fact that, wow, most of the things that have been written in the Bible have already occurred. We're literally at the back of the book. There's not much left to happen. So when I got to that revelation that we're no longer at the book of Genesis in the beginning. We're way back here in the book of Revelation. And then I discovered, this is like the second time I ran across the information. I discovered that, wow, in the book of Revelation, the Bible talks about 7 trumpets, 7 angels, 7 vials, and 7 seals. And as I was reading about the 7 trumpets, I discovered, thanks to a very well-versed man of God, Dr. Erwin Baxter, who died just a couple of months ago. Or has it been about a year? Probably been about a year now. God showed him that 5 of the trumpets have already taken place. And you can go on YouTube and you can see Dr. Erwin Baxter, End Time Ministry, and he talks about the trumpets in the book of Revelations, End Time Ministry. And the amazing thing is, the very first time I saw it many years ago, I was stunned because I said, wow, we're waiting for things to happen in the book of Revelations, and they already occurred. 5 of them, 5 trumpets have already been blown. And he go into detail of what each trumpet is, what each event is. And it was like, when I saw it, I was so blown away. So, we are living in the last days. We're coming to the close of this generation, the close of this age. And Jesus will come back, and Jesus will set things in order. The Bible said there will be a new heaven and a new earth. And all of you out there that is probably hearing this for the very first time, I'm sorry, it might be unwelcome news to you, but you just happen to be born in this day and time. You happen to be born in the generation that was the last generation. And so, only thing that is left to happen is the Antichrist come on the scene, deceive the whole world. Then Jesus comes back during the tribulation period, which will happen for exactly 7 years. The worst events that have ever occurred since the beginning of time is going to happen during the tribulation period. And then Jesus will come back and he will set things in order. And God said he will make a new heaven and a new earth. And then we will spend the rest of eternity with him. And then Satan will be unleashed for 1,000 years. I'm not sure exactly the point of that, but I haven't really asked God about it. But let's just say the life that you have come to know and become very comfortable and familiar with is coming to a close. I'm your boy, Service Soul Man. I preach the gospel of Jesus Christ in these last days. Why? Because God called me, and He told me that's what He wanted me to do, to tell you about the time and the seasons that we're living in. So I'm telling you, while I can, while I have breath in my body, and while I've been given the instructions to do so, that we are part of the last generation that will see Jesus return. I thank you for joining me today. If you look at all the videos I've posted in the last 27 years, I have some on Facebook, I have some on Instagram, I have some on TikTok, I have about 4 channels on YouTube. You can look at all the material that I've ever produced, I've ever written. I have several books on Amazon.com. All the material is very clear that we are the last generation and we will see Jesus return. Be blessed, people of God. I pray that you've made preparations for His return, and that church is not a game to you, but it's a place where you're supposed to learn about God. And I hope you have spent time learning about God and all that He has in store for you, your life, and those around you. Be blessed. Enjoy your day. Tell someone that you love them, and know that Jesus is Lord. That's Michael W. Smith in the background. One of my favorite songs, I must admit. I hope it's one of your favorites also. I guess you could say I listen to a lot of gospel music because gospel music is a little bit different than other music. It speaks to the spirit man. And the spirit man is what is closer to God. Or should I say the soul of man. So, take a minute out, listen to some great music, and I hope part of your time that you spend listening to good music, you take time out to listen to some worship and praise where God is magnified and glorified, because He's God, and we're just creation, and we're supposed to give God glory. That is due Him. I'm your boy, Service Soul Man. Y'all be blessed. See you next time, whenever that may be.